Hey guys, I know it's been a long time, but we're back, and today we'll be discussing the New York Stock Exchange. So pretty much everything about the exchange, what's it for, the history of it, what happens on a day-to-day basis, all that kind of stuff. So some interesting history facts. It was first organized by a group of brokers in New York, and the agreement that they made was called the Buttonwood Agreement. Don't ask me why the name is there. I don't know. I couldn't find anything really on it. So before the agreement, securities, which is what are traded on the New York Stock Exchange, were mediated by auctioneers. So kind of like how in today's day and age, when two countries are negotiating, they have a mediator country that sits there. Same kind of thing, just to witness it. And so they also included commodities. So just to go off here, quickly, little side note. New York City used to house both the New York Stock Exchange and the New York Commodities Exchange. They were the largest exchanges in the world. Now, after 9/11, the Commodities Exchange was moved to Chicago in order to prevent something like 9/11 from crippling the economy yet again. Moving on. The Buttonwood Agreement was signed by 24 brokers on May 17th, 1792. So it was to set a floor commission rate. Yes, I know floor is spelled wrong. Oh well, I apparently wasn't paying attention. I was a little drunk when I made this. So the commission rate that was charged to clients and bound the signers to give preference to other signers in security sales. Yeah, what? Alright, so now let's cover that tangent. So, a commission rate. It's essentially a whole bunch of preferences. It's a percentage of the amount earned, and it goes to the broker who orchestrated the agreement. So, whenever you sign for a car loan, those people work on commission. So it's a preset percentage rate of the sale that they would get. And then there's also preferences. So, the preferences are the signers of the agreement invest first and get special privileges when they make the agreements. So if you have two people, one person who was there for the original signing of the agreement and one person that wasn't, the person who was there originally would get to invest first and choose what they wanted to invest before the person who didn't sign the agreement. So it was kind of a, those who got in early came out off the best. Now, back to the history. So, the earliest securities were government securities, so war bonds, and the first bank of the U.S. is stock. And the Bank of New York was also a security that was traded in the early days. In 1817, the stockbrokers operating under the agreement wanted to reorganize and formalize everything, so they went to the capital, Philadelphia at the time, to consolidate and whatnot. So they organized into the New York Stock and Exchange Board, and they started renting out space for securities trading. So it had been taking place in the Tontine Coffee House originally, and the coffee house was not the place where you would really want to go and trade stocks or to be taken with any kind of seriousness if you wanted to be that person who wanted to make a lot of money through it. So when the telegraph came about, now people could communicate faster. They had much quicker means of getting their message through. They didn't have to live right near the New York City area, so that came to dominate. The New York Stock Exchange came to dominate over the Philadelphia's exchange. And so the Philadelphian Stock Exchange was actually slowly weaned out, and the Civil War greatly stipulated the speculative trading in New York, and so membership had to be capped actually after the Civil War because there were so many people that wanted to trade on the exchange. So some interesting facts. It's owned by the Intercontinental Exchange, which is a German company. That's ICE, not the ICE trains that they have in Germany, different company. Henry Descoste is the current CEO. There are almost 1,900 companies listed on the exchange, and it's currently capped at $16.6 trillion, which is almost equivalent to the US's GDP. And in terms of the actual volume, over $20 trillion was traded as of December 2011. Now, all this is well and good, so we should probably finish this and summarize it in the best way that we possibly can. So, more than the entire economy is traded every year. There's just a massive amount of money that are moving around everywhere. The exchange sits in the largest city in the United States, obviously New York City. That's why it's called the New York Stock Exchange. Duh. And the building that the exchange is housed in is considered an international landmark, so it a historical landmark, so it can't be knocked down or modified in any way, shape, or form without getting prior approval. And that's the end.